Good morning, Infinity. This is Reverend Jeff Obafemi-Carr, also known as Rev Jeff. This is third Sunday at the Infinity Fellowship, and I want to say welcome to everyone who is here, who is ready to go for a phenomenal If Teaches third Sunday. This is the time we get the opportunity to come together in fellowship, come together in community, and of course, come together in learning. We have a special treat today. A wonderful human being who's joining us as part of our fellowship today, one of our great minds going back to the beginning of Infinity. So we got a lot to learn. I'm going to encourage you to go ahead and pull out your journals, go ahead and pull out your notebooks, pull out your iPads, your Remarkables, whatever it is you use to write with, to put down concepts that will help you grow in your spiritual path. To our first-time visitors, to people who this popped up in their feed maybe, or somebody tagged you right now and said, this is something that has worked wonders in my life. We call it the Infinity Fellowship. And it's something that I think you might want to check out. And by all means, let's start that process now. As you are getting your coffee, as you're getting your tea, as you're getting everything in order, we want you to make sure that you invite somebody here into Infinity today for the live stream, here at the core of consciousness, the apex of authenticity. This is a wonderful day. This is part 3. This service is part 3 of the Spring into Action series. We have 5 Sundays this month. So we're going to get those seeds planted. We're going to get those seeds growing so that you can see abundant fruit in your life. If you find yourself in the category of being spiritual and not necessarily religious, and you've been looking for community because that's something that you felt you missed, you didn't miss it anymore. You're right here, exactly where you're supposed to be. So let's generate some energy, some excitement in the chat today. Go ahead and say hello if you're joining us so that we can know you're there. If you want to get an early jump on gratitude by letting us know what you're grateful for, when we get to that hello moment, we'll put that up on the screen as well. And of course, hit that thumbs up button, because the thumbs up button allows that internet algorithm to let people know that we are interested in being here today. Hit the heart button if you're on Facebook, and of course, reshare it or tag it in your feeds as needed and necessary. We're grateful that we have you here today. We've got great tech on staff. We got Lady Kanitha's voice coming through the air. Sister Janet Stewart Caldwell joining us. Welcome to Infinity Fellowship and the Infinite Life streamers who are bringing this to you today. A couple of announcements, including our statement of infinitude that will appear on the screen. I invite you to read it. It'll tell you everything you need to know about the Infinity Fellowship. I'm excited. I hope you are too. We'll see you in just a couple of minutes. Good morning, Infinity. It's time for the opening of the way. The opening way is a sacred way to open any ceremony, any spiritual gathering. So we're excited today to be here and to invite you to put yourself into a place of awareness, alignment, receiving of the good. We have three phases to the opening of the way: an opening meditation. Then we have an affirmative perm, pouring energy into realignment for manifestation. That's what we call affirmative prayer here at Infinity. We also will come back with the pouring of libations. I'll rejoin us for the pouring of libations, but we're very blessed today to have some assistance in the opening of the way from some very beautiful spirits. Sister Janet Caldwell, who will lead us in meditation, followed by Reverend Christina Trotter, who will lead us in prayer. And so it is. Ashe.
Good morning. Let's start just allowing your breath to be. So if you want to close your eyes, you're welcome to do that. And just notice your breath. Refrain from reaching out and grabbing it. Just let it be what it is. The meditation this morning is coming from Thich Nhat Hanh, the late Buddhist monk, who offered a meditation on self-love, a meditation on love towards ourselves. So today, as you allow your breath to be present in your body, and you relish and acknowledge the inspiration of your own breath, I invite you to think about these words. May I be peaceful and light in my body and in my mind. May I be safe and free from accidents. May I be free from anger, fear, and worries. May I know how to look at myself with the eyes of understanding and love. May I be able to recognize and touch the seeds of joy and happiness in myself. May I learn how to nourish myself with joy each day. May I be able to live fresh, solid, and free. And as you allow those words to wash over you and to come from within, I'll close with a chant. Om Anandaya Namaha. Anandaya Namaha. Om Anandaya Namaha. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you.
Mother, Father God, source of all that is, we give thanks for your presence and for every soul who has chosen to commune with us today. We open our hearts and our spirits to receive what you have for us in this moment. We are grateful for all you have provided throughout the week. We are grateful. Oh, I thank you, Spirit, for the experience, every lesson, every moment that has shaped us. We honor our ancestors who walk with us daily. Your protection, your guidance, and your love continue to strengthen us. Oh, we just thank you today, Spirit. We lift up the world. Thank you, oh God, in prayer, trusting that we do not have to succumb to the fear or absorb anything that is not meant for us. Oh, I thank you. Teach us to stay aligned with truth, clarity, and peace. As we prepare to learn from Rev Jeff, the conscious oracle, he shows us how to live in momentum during these times. Spirit, we are ready. Equip us, prepare us, teach us the path we are meant to walk. We move forward with open hands and open hearts, ready to receive every good thing. Oh, thank you, Spirit. I've got to say it again. Every good thing you have in store for us. Thank you, Spirit, for who we are and for who we are becoming. Ashe, Ashe, peace, 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 peace.
And so it is. Oh, wow. We have opened this space in a beautiful way. Uh, Sister Janet. Woo! Sister Reverend Christina. Oh, my goodness. And now we get to keep putting icing on the cake by pouring libations, welcoming those who have walked this path before, in the recognition and understanding that we are not alone, that there is no death, there is only transition. And so we pour today for those who have moved, emerged into the world now, from the space of life into the space of life after life. We recognize that energy is never created or destroyed, it simply changes form. When we have this conscious awareness, we recognize that we are truly never alone, that our people are with us, that even when you find yourself in a room that appears to be physically empty, you walk in confidence knowing that anyone that you encounter in that room is completely outnumbered because you bring all your people with you. The concept of Mitakuye-Oyasin, all my relations, you carry them with you all the time. And in moments when we feel that we are low, there is always a shoulder that raises a little higher, that we lifted, that feels lifting to us because we are lifted higher because we stand upon their shoulders. So as we pour this water, it represents symbolically the living, because our bodies and the earth is made of mostly water, into the earth, which represents what happens to this physical earth suit that we're just walking around wearing right now when we no longer need it. When our bodies, when our true selves become so big that these bodies can no longer hold them. When we discard these earth suits, it joins with flora and fauna. And so this is a symbolic pouring to let us know that we are connected. When we have our memories, when we have our stories, we have items that are left to us that are important that we cloak ourselves in. All of it carries the divine essence. And that essence in the Yoruba tradition is called Ashe. And we say Ashe when we pour. So as we pour today, we say, cool water, freshen our spirits, Ashe. Freshen and consecrate this space for the spiritual work that we do today, Ashe. We give praise to Almighty Mother, Father God, divine source, and all creations. Ashe. Bless our ancestors collectively all together from around the world and all time immemorial. Ashe. Do grant to us in this remembrance peace and prosperity. Ashe. We pour to the cardinal directions, first, of course, to the north, which reminds us in the tradition of yoga to be a yes today, to show up with a yes spirit and be present. Ashe. To the energy of the east, the rising sun, knowing that today is a brand new day, we have an opportunity to start again. So don't carry into the right now that which is already gone. Ashe. To the energy of the south and the understanding of who we are and whose we are. Ashe. To the energy of the west and understanding that as the sun goes down, we are still gifted with the moon and the stars. Whenever you might experience darkness in your world, may you always look for the light. Once light appears, there is darkness no more. Ashe. From those four cardinal directions, the fifth direction of the ground, being grounded in our traditions, being grounded in our spiritual practices, the things that give us life and pour into us, so that when the storms come as they do, we may bend, but it is always better to bend than it is to break. Ashe. And to the sky above, the place of open possibility, may we always be able to allow our minds to wonder as they wander, activating that default mode network in the brain. That is the space of creativity. May you see something in this blank landscape that inspires you to bring something from the no thing. Ashe. And finally, to the seventh direction, the Grand Central Station where all roads meet, the space of the heart, the space of anahata, the space of love, this green light energy in the chakra system. May your heart always be as light as a feather. Ashe. In this moment, I invite you to here in the place and also online. If you want to type a name in the chat, by all means. If you want to call a name aloud, we invite you to. In this space, we'll call aloud the names as we pour the next few pours of water for those who we want to remember. Ashe. Finally, we pour for the children in the world, the children in the womb, and those yet unborn. We say together, Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Oh, it is done. And so we open ourselves in this place today. And we say that we are indeed grateful to welcome you to the Infinity Fellowship. And that is a great thing to do. I want to go ahead and say good morning to you and let you know that as you are walking into this space today, as you are clicking on, you have entered into a space that is home for you. This is a moment where we get to generate gratitude together. So if you're here for the first time, I want to say that we are indeed grateful for you. If you are here and you've been here before, go ahead and drop something in the chat today that reminds everybody of one thing that you're grateful for. We invite you to participate. Say hello. My name is, and then one thing that you're grateful for. I'm giving you a head start on that because first and foremost, I want to welcome the visitors, and then we get to say good morning to you. Visitors, my name is Jeff Obafemi Carr. In this space, I'm known as Rev Jeff. It almost rhymes, but it's enough for you to remember who I am. And I'm gifted and blessed to be the Chief Spiritual Officer here at the Infinity Fellowship and to welcome you home. Our first-time visitors, we've got a QR code that we want to put on the screen for you. We also have a link in the chat that you can fill out to let you know that you are seen and to let us know that you are seen too. This may be your first physical time at Infinity, but we love to let you know that we get to see who, what, where, when, and why you are. And we also get to see you for what you truly are. You're not just a human being who showed up to have a spiritual experience today, but it's the other way around. You are a spirit who is navigating the human experience with the rest of us. So listen, go ahead and take a moment to fill out that visitor's form. Or if you find yourself just enjoying the energy of service, at some point, fill that form out today so that we can send you a note to say hello. And then hopefully one day you'll come and visit us. We are brick and mortar as well, 641 West Nocturne Drive in good old Nashville, Tennessee, 37207. So mark your calendar, especially for the first Sunday coming up in April. We've got a very, very special day to celebrate, and we'd love to have you, your family, your friends come on out. But no matter how you found your way here, whether that was by research, whether you searched for a place that was interspiritual in nature, or maybe somebody tagged you. If somebody tagged you today after service or during service at some point, I want you to just go ahead and send them a text and say, thank you for loving me enough to share this open and wonderful community with me. We thank people when they get an opportunity to find Infinity and for Infinity to find them. So we like to let you know that we know who, what, where, when, and why you are. So we're going to say our visitors welcome, and it is definitely the 5 W's. Take a deep breath with me. Inhale, exhale. Send your hands to somebody and repeat after me. I see you, but you don't hear me though. I really see the real you. I see who you are. You are a divine manifestation of God's creation. I see what you are. You are a spirit. You're more than what's on the outside. You're a gift to me and to the entire world. I see where you are. You're right here in front of me. Where I can let you know, if nobody else will, that you are not alone. I'm with you, we're with you, and you are at home. I see when you are. You're in the right now, my friend. You're so much more than your yesterday. I see why you are. You're here to learn, to grow, to embrace your dreams, and to celebrate your divine destiny. I know all this because I'm here to do the same thing. So we're going to help each other out. All right? All right? I know the real you. And I see you shining today. I feel you shining today. I know you're shining today. So welcome to Infinity. Welcome home. Asheo! And we say good morning to you in the way that we only do at Infinity Fellowship. We're going to sing good morning to you. It's a simple song. All you have to do is say good morning to you. And if you don't know the words, you can say da-da-da-da-da-da. How about that? And we'll demonstrate. Lady Kanika Carr is going to lead us in. On the screen, generate that gratitude in the chat. Come on, y'all.
A good morning to you. A good morning to you. A good morning to you. Good morning to you. And we say, hey, good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning congratulations. And those who are just tuning in, and this is your first time, and you're like, what's going on here? Good morning to you. This is your moment to go ahead and put in the chat what you're grateful for. It's a great morning. I'm grateful that we're here together. I feel it. I feel the love. All my babies out there, all the young people, good morning to you. Hey. And then we say da 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 da. Hey, good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you.
Morning. Thank you, Lady Kanita. You took us in there. We like that. Yeah. Hey, we're getting it in. The tech crew is just like, hey. They're like, hey, we ready to get to it. We're ready to get to standing ovations in here. You know, hey, but look, it is time for us to get ready for our standing ovations. And as we're getting ready for our standing ovations, of course, we're going to go ahead and put that early link in so that you can share your standing ovation. It's something good that has happened for you, and it has happened in a way that affirms your spiritual practice here at Infinity Fellowship. We know that we're teaching you these foundational principles: spirituality, nurturing, action, and proof. That's the snap that you hear. A lot of times, Infinity people, you go places and people like somebody say something great, and people are like, ah. And I'm like, where are those snaps coming from? Somebody that's been to Infinity. Practicing spirituality, getting close to the God of your acceptance and understanding, nurturing of yourself, of ourselves and others, mind, body, and spirit. Action, taking actions on our dreams, and of course, P, that proof. So go ahead, and if you've been here before and you know we want to celebrate your standing ovation, go ahead and put it in the chat, the link in the chat, so you can fill out the form so it can populate. This is the time that we gather in this moment, our conscious awareness through joyful participation in the act of giving. It is time for tithes and offering at Infinity Fellowship. This is a time when we say this and we are in person, people erupt in joy. That's what I love about Infinity. It's not like when you go to some places and they say it's time for our giving and people are like, oh Lord, how do I go to the bathroom right now? I don't want to do that. They're going to make me feel guilty. And no. We give from a place of goodness. We're a community of people who understand that when you tune your frequency to abundance, then abundance follows you. And we also do great things in this community and communities around the nation because you enable us to. We're watching this Infinite Life stream together, and you're participating because of the gifts of people in this community that allow us to put these teachings into the world. So we get a chance to go down to the Lindsley family in Warner Robins, Georgia. And they're going to guide us through our giving process, telling us a little bit about how giving has affected their life before leading us in our offertory affirmation. And so it is. You can give via Cash App, PayPal, or even mail, and we'll put that slide up for you. We'll turn it over to the Lindsleys.
Good morning, Infinity.
Good morning.
Look, y'all got
hello,
my
hello.
locks all excited.
Lovely to be in the space with you all. Happy to see you virtually as always here in rainy Georgia this morning.
Loving this part of service that we get to help join everyone with. This is a beautiful space of tithing, of pouring back into the community, into the energy, into the space that provides so much spiritual food for you all as well as us and our family. This has been a very intentional practice that we have picked up over the years and just worked through some of that discomfort that Rev was mentioning earlier that sometimes can happen when you are informed through different spaces on some of the things that can be attached to this practice, whether it be, certain individuals who might be gaining more than others out of it. All of those things are energies and ideas that get poured into the space that we're not immune to, that we experienced in our lives as well. And so we're speaking from a space of understanding when we say, here at Infinity, we've amplified this vibration in a way where we're pouring from a space of gratitude. We're pouring and giving from a space of recognizing that when we're full and when we're pouring from a space of fullness, that we actually allow more to come to us when we let things out, when we give from a space of love and gratitude. And as we do this here, if you're just joining us for the first time, we have a powerful affirmation that we add to this practice that helps align us spiritually, that helps align us deep within to the gravity and the positivity of this practice. And so that's going to come up on the screen shortly, and we'll say that together. And as you say that, think about some of the words that are here. Mm-hmm. Think about the things that are being shared at this time. And there's a very specific part of the affirmation that's coming up in our spirits as we read this. Mm-hmm. And it's about the energy that we were just talking about, the giving energy of this. And it says that as we give freely, with both remembrance and gratitude. The circle of abundance. Sticks out, doesn't it?
Yes, as we give freely with both remembrance and gratitude. What are you grateful for? Yeah. What do you remember? We woke up this morning. Do you remember a message that was given from Infinity, from Jeff, from Lady Kanitha? Do you remember a hug that was given that felt so warm and cozy while you were at Infinity? Do you remember the eye contact that was made during the visitors opening and the new people coming into the space? You know, that I see you, you know, having someone look you in your eyes and say, I see you. Take all my money. Again, we give back to where we receive our spiritual food. And so much spiritual food has been given in this space from this community. And so we just want to reciprocate that and pour into that and know as you give with both remembrance and gratitude, grateful that you woke up this morning, grateful that your kids are alive and healthy, grateful that you have a working vehicle, grateful that you have a roof over your head, grateful that you have food to eat. There's so much to be grateful for. And if nothing else, you're alive and you're breathing. And so we want to just pour that energy back into, and remember, it's just money. It comes, it goes, let it flow. And in my personal experience, I was definitely a fearful tither. I do come from a traditional Christian Baptist background, and some of those insecurities and how the tithing was being used has been in question. I'm sure many of us has experienced that. But what I have come to found in this space is I can't give enough, really. Like the money is nothing. What I have gained back from giving just 10% of where I'm receiving my spiritual food. I mean, it doesn't measure up. It just doesn't measure up. I've gained so much back from this space. So 10%, nothing. $100, you got 100, you give 10. You got $10, you give 1. So let's amplify that space. We have a beautiful affirmation that we say during this time, and we're all going to do that together. And they will come up on your screen.
Come up.
So let's get into it.
Let's do this, y'all. Opening your hearts, opening your minds. Let's do it. Here we go.
Oh, limitless, abundant creator, source of everything I possess. You have given me the gifts of life, breath, and creativity. You continue to provide for me without judgment or preference. And so I freely return these gifts to you with my whole heart, mind, and intention, knowing that as I give freely with both remembrance and gratitude, the circle of abundance will be unbroken. And so it is.
Ooh, everything is good. Everything is good. Everything is good. Oh, everything is good. And I've got it. I've got it. Oh, I've got it good. everything is good. Yes, it is. Everything is good. Oh, everything is good. And I've got it. I've got it. Oh, I've got it good. Hey, everything is good. Yeah, everything is good. Tell yourself everything is good. Oh, everything is good. And I've got it. I've got it. Oh, I've got it good. Come on, remind yourself everything is good. Yeah, everything is good. Yes, it is. Everything is good. Oh, everything is good. And I've got it. I've got it. Oh, I've got it good.
Come on, y'all, sing that.
Hey, everything. Yes, it is. Everything is good. Yeah, everything is good. Oh, everything is good. And I've got it. I've got it. Oh, I've got it good. Hey, come on and tell yourself everything is good. Yeah, everything is good. Yes, it is. Everything is good. Oh, everything is good. And I've got it. I've got it. Oh, I've got it good. Oh, yes, you've got it good. Hey, I've got it. Oh, I've got it good. Oh, yeah, remind yourself. I've got it. I've got it. Oh, I've got it good. Yes, you got it good. Yeah.
Yeah. You know you got it good. Everything. Life, death is in the power of the tongue. Everything is intention and focus. And in just a minute, we're going to unpack what this means in real time, in this understanding of goodness and this understanding of how we see the world and how we move through the world, and especially how we embrace this odd thing called an identity. But through it all, if we can understand and resonate around the frequency of understanding that everything is good, watch and see how things begin to shape and mold themselves to that understanding. That's the power that we have as little C creators. It's getting ready to be close to the time when we're going to dive into the subject today. So as you're getting your notebooks ready, I'm going to remind you again, before you get reminded the third time, to get your standing ovation turned in, because before we get to the meat of today's service, the spiritual nourishment that we're handing out and we're serving up today, we invite you to pay attention for the next few minutes to some announcements that are coming, our highlight announcements. Sister Alicia is bringing those to us. So we turn over the screen, take your notes, mark your dates in your calendar, and so it is. Ashe.
Good morning, Infinity. It's time for morning announcements. Again, in preparation for standing ovations, here is your 2-minute warning to get it in at the link in the chat. A standing ovation is an accomplishment you have made that we can shout you out for. Let us know what good thing you've birthed into the world, and we've got a link in the chat for you to fill out to get your standing ovations in at this time. Thank you very much. I am Alicia, and I'm excited to bring you some highlight announcements this morning. Welcome to March, the third month of the year of momentum. We are rolling forward full steam ahead. We are rolling forward full steam ahead year of moving forward with the infinite power of growth and expansion. When we walk in momentum, we experience new growth and new manifestations. So it's no surprise that our daily mantra for this year shares the hook of a classic Motown song. Get ready, because here I come. Say it with me. Get ready, because here I come. Now breathe in and breathe out and feel it deeply. Before we get to standing ovations, let's get a few highlight announcements to you. This month's thematic series is Spring into Action, Planting in Fertile Spiritual Ground. As the seasons change, we are called to do the same. The theme of growth is big for all of us during the month of March. Take notes on Sundays, especially today when the Infinite Life Stream opens the door to truly impactful spiritual instruction. We will also this month be treated to a fifth Sunday fireside chat. Remember our monthly schedule. Here's your reminder that we do meet in person every first Sunday and virtually every Sunday of the month with special activities in between. Next week will be virtual, of course, and we look forward to seeing you on the Infinite Live Stream. Next week is also Yoga Sunday. We continue to frame out 2026 with building and maintaining the momentum of our bodies in alignment with our spirits and our minds. Pull out your mats next week and join us for a Yoga Sunday that will lift and inspire you to get in touch with your body. We'll be joined online by people from all over the world, so make no excuses. That's next week, the world's only yoga church service. # Yoga Sunday. Are you 20-something and looking for intense ancient wisdom? Well, the young adults continue their journey into ancient wisdom for modern living. Third Thursdays for YAs is all about sharing life skills and strengthening vision. The gathering is open to all young adults in their 20s, and the focus for March will be chakras, the wheels of life. If you are interested in attending this free gathering, shoot an email to infinitynashville@gmail.com. You do not need to be a member of Infinity to enjoy this ancient wisdom instruction. Let us know you're coming and bring a 20-something friend. Love and Light is your Wednesday midweek motivation, and Tyrell and Tashana are here for you. Our official midweek gathering is online, where we enjoy unpacking the Sunday spiritual download and monthly themes in an authentic and insightful way. Each week is an open, guided discussion for shared reactions, thoughts, and revelations that come to us via the Sunday morning teachings. This allows us to experience a midweek boost of community. We look forward to seeing you all, especially members that haven't been in a while. Each week is a brand new start, so set your calendar alarms to answer the Love and Light call this Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, hosted by Tyrell and Tashana Lindsley. You are invited to our Emergence Month celebration, Sunday, April 5th, 2026. In April of 2014, the vision for Infinity was accepted by Reverend Jeff Obafemi Carr. What emerged over the next few months were deep dives into ancient wisdom, theological conversations, mastermind groups, and building infrastructure that resulted in our very first service in October of 2014, which is now Anniversary Month. In recognition of Infinity's founding and the teamwork it took to realize this interspiritual community, beginning this year, April will be known as Emergence Month. We kick off on the first Sunday of April with a full day of joy, connection, and community. Here's what's happening. A delicious potluck celebration, so bring your favorite dish and let's feast together. Rock your Infinity swag and or the colors of royal blue and gold. Shirts, hoodies, colors, accessories, we want to see it all. A fun egg hunt for our youth with prizes included. And yes, we will be giving awards for those sporting the most Infinity swag and representing our colors the best. This is a day to celebrate vision, leadership, growth, and the beautiful community we are building together. April will also host our quarterly Sweat Lodge and activities all month long. Let's show up. Let's show out. Let's prepare to celebrate Emergence Month with gratitude and renewed energy. The membership meeting is coming up. Membership meeting is coming up on 5th Sunday. That is Sunday, March 29th at 2 p.m. in person and via private Zoom. You'll be able to sign up for committees, learn more about the future of Infinity, get our year-to-date financial report, and receive an update on our 5-year plan, where we've been and where we're going. Lunch will be provided on site. That's Sunday, March 29th, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Now let's bring back up Reverend Jeff and Lady Kenitha Carr because it's time for a standing ovation.
Tune your vibration to a high elevation. It's time for the good news, our standing ovation.
Woo! It's time for standing ovation. Ovations. And just a slight reminder, please put it on your calendar for March 29th for this Sunday annual membership meeting. It's when you get to know the ins and the outs of Infinity.
All of
It's
our
when we're
innards.
able to share the financial records and
Yep.
all the great things that are going on at Infinity. So I want y'all to make sure, if it's not on your calendar,
2 p.m.
2:00 p.m. Lunch is provided for those who will be in the space, and there will be a Zoom link for everyone that is a part of Infinity and wants to attend as well.
Absolutely. This is the time. So listen, don't come up the Sunday afterwards saying, hey, I want to know what's happening with the Infinity and the finances. And you got all of this notice. And people, we love it. Our annual membership meeting is a lot of fun.
Great.
It's a lot of revelation.
Yes.
You get an opportunity to see how the business of Infinity is set up, how it works. Our outreach programs, you get to join committees. You get to see where your funds are going and how everything is allocated. It's a beautiful moment of transparency and community and authenticity. So we invite you, of course, to set that on your calendar to attend. And special thanks to the board, to the finance team, to everyone who always
the
makes sure,
committee
to the
chairs
committee
and
chairs, who make sure that this institution grows. When you do brick and mortar, it's different from just online. When online is here, it's beautiful because we can reach people around the world. We can look into that red dot, call it a day, wrap it up, and keep it moving. But when you have a building, you have grounds, you have outreaches, you have people who need to spring into action, it's a whole nother level of living. And it has been a wonderful journey over the last 12 years. So don't miss this meeting. It's an opportunity for you to really get into what Infinity is and what it does. And it also is a source for me of pride every single year when we get to see the progress that we've made as an institution that is still on this planet. And not just for today, but for the future. So enough said on that.
Past and current members.
Yes.
So now we've come to that time. You heard it before, the sound of standing ovation. And this is our time of high energy. It is actually our practice of snap. It's why we snap our fingers during this part of the service and throughout the entire service. We receive practical lessons and tools for our individual journeys, and that is spirituality. We fellowship with like-minded spirits every week. That's nurturing. We take what we learn and actually applied in our lives. That's action. And if we do all of these things, then we see examples of that progress. And y'all, that is the proof. That's what we're going for, is the proof. So we're going to pause as we enjoy a collective moment of manifestation and expansion. So here's what's going to happen. When your name is called, please stand if you're able to, or just get closer to your device or wherever it is. And we are going to read aloud your manifestation. When we finish the manifestation, we're going to snap our fingers. But the great thing is, at the very end, we get to celebrate together with a collective standing ovation to say, well done.
Well done. First standing ovation I want to get, I think we have two today. First, I want to give to Brother Terrence Brown, Ortega Brown, and Brother Micah, Brother Shabazz, and also Sister Thea for bringing that to people's attention, that one of their neighbors had some felled trees in the neighborhood over in North Nashville, and he put the call into the Infinity Men's Chat to see if he can get some volunteers. A lot of people were out of town for spring break, but Brother Terrence took it upon himself with a couple of extra hands to go over, get a saw, chop up the tree, move some debris out of the way. That is definitely in the spirit of manifestation. So big snaps to the Brown family and the kids. I saw a picture of Michael with a chainsaw. I said, man, come on, Michael. Come on now. You're taking chainsaw skills into grown man skills. That's what I'm talking about. But also that concept of just doing random acts of kindness. And sometimes we do that as a community and it's organized. And other times you see a need that is in your neighborhood or across the street. We invite you, always encourage you to do that, just to spring into action to do it. There is nothing that will stop a random act of kindness, and there's nothing that brings more healing than a random act of kindness. We want to make sure that we are learning these spiritual principles, that there's something in us that we see when we are empathetic about people who need help. So standing ovation to you, to the Browns and that energy in there. Next standing ovation we have is Sister Jacqueline Cole. Hey, Sister Jacqueline, good to see you. Jacqueline says, I am celebrating my wife's Nomfundo's birthday this week on March 18th. May this community join me in celebrating a beautiful spiritual healer and community builder who is excited to be a part of our Infinity Fellowship community. Yes, and they're international, y'all, from the motherland back here, all over the globe doing healing. So to Sister Nomfundo, we say 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Oh,
sis.
we love it. And that's what I've got in terms of our standing ovations that we want to
Yes.
shout out today.
Last night, I would like
Oh.
to give a shout out to
Yes, because she
it's such a
refuses. She
reminder
refuses
of
to-
how famous she really is, and she just kind of just goes to the side somewhere.
She
but we
refuses
were
to fill out a standing ovation form. She's out here doing springboard ovations off a trampoline. She ain't just standing. But she
all
won't
the
put 'em in.
professional companies here. I mean, this person. So to Alicia Hamer, what a wonderful spirit. What an excellent director and
director.
playwright, and all of these many gifts that are inside of her. And it's always great to go out and see when the whole community can recognize some of the things that she is doing. That play was great, and just seeing her gifts like shine is like so amazing. And whenever I go places, I'm like, she's so famous.
To her reading last night at the Nashville Repertory Theater that
famous.
she directed, New York playwright.
Yes.
But of course, we had a hometown director. So thank you, Sister Alicia, for putting your gifts on display last night and for putting some stank
Yes.
on it.
Come on now.
She worked those actors last night,
She'll
buddy. I'm
never
telling
say
you, these
nothing
gifts.
either.
Yeah,
She'll
she's in
never-
there. So yes, standing ovation. We've got
Yes.
3 today. All right. So what do we do?
Okay, so I think that's it. Kyle, you were looking at me like, okay.
We have a birthday. Put
Micah,
in addition to working
to
a
working
chainsaw, is
at
turning
the age of
14.
He's turning 14.
So he can say you claimed it at age 13 as a rites of passage. So 14, Brother Micah. 1,
Yes.
2, 3. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
All right, Micah. In your honor, I almost hit that high note, but then I said, wait a minute. I'm not gonna try it. I ain't warmed up that voice yet. But Micah is also an exceptional tuba player too.
Yes.
So the bass was for your tuba, brother. You should get that in there. We got that in there. Okay. So what do we do now?
All right, so if you shared, you get to have several seats while the rest of us are going to stand to our feet and give a thunderous standing ovation. Okay, here we go.
Y'all just got me so excited. I'm trying to get me some cardio up in this piece. I'm like, yo, that gratitude will get you going in here. It's time for us to prepare the way for today's conversation, which is a message and conversation. And to prepare the way for us, we go over to the Ortega Brown Jones household. Sister Thea is going to lead us through today's meditation. Ashe.
Good morning, family. All right, so today's meditation comes to us from or via the historic philosopher Lao Tzu, generally regarded as the founder of Taoism through the Tao Te Ching. He reminds us through his attributed words of the following core life strategy. When you are content to simply be yourself and don't compare or compete, everybody will respect you. When you are content to simply be yourself and don't compare or compete, Everybody will respect you. Breathe in. Deep breath out. So it is spoken, so it is received, and so it is. Let us now turn our attention and intention to the spiritual download with Rev Jeff Obafemi Carr. Remember, if you have questions, please type it in the chat during the message or during the Q&A period at the end of the spiritual download. We encourage you to write down your revelations and reflect upon them during this week as you put practice into action. Ashe.
Ashe. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Sister Thea. Awesome energy. Janet, we have you. We have you with, we're going to get your, we'll bring that green microphone up for Sister Janet because it's sorry. We got a green microphone and the way it worked out, it coordinated so well with her clothes. It's a high chair. We're high chair, and we're in there. You all, if you've been at Infinity before, or if you have participated with us over the years, you have a deep understanding of who this wonderful individual is next to me. I just want to read the most brief bio that I can so that, and please indulge me in this, Sister Janet, you know, I like to let people know who you are so that people can understand it. So if you can indulge me, I got the most brief bio possible simply because what you have to share and what we have to talk about and get to talk about today is so beautiful that if I were to read her full bio, it would constitute the entire message time because it would probably be about 5, 6, 7 pages. So we've got this condensed bio so that people can at least get an understanding of who you are. Janet Caldwell. Janet Stewart Caldwell, CIAYT, 500 hours of training in yoga, is a healing therapist, a registered yoga teacher, and certified IAYT, certified yoga therapist in the tradition of Sri Krishnamacharya and TKV Desikachar. Janet was first drawn to yoga as a means to relieve stress. That's a good thing to be, you know, to relieving stress. As the founder of Yogability, she has her own practice in here. Janet believes that, quote, if you can breathe, you can practice yoga, end quote. That's a Janet Caldwell quote, and I'm going to use it next week at Yoga Sunday. If you can breathe, you can practice yoga. So that means everybody here can practice yoga because you're breathing. Even if you're assisted with it, you're breathing right now. She has firsthand experience and knowledge of the healing power of daily practice and has found peace with her health. In addition to being the co-thought partner and founding facilitator of Yoga Sunday at Infinity, on February 21st of this year, just last month, the International Association of Yoga Therapists, that's IYAT, elected her to the position of president of the board of directors, marking the first time in IAYT's history when both the executive director and the board president represent people of the global majority. So this is quite an accomplishment, Sister Janet. So we're pleased to have you here. We're excited that you're joining us today and grateful that the conversation is opening as we talk about the seeds of identity. When we talk about identity, that is a big word. It's a buzzword. And this whole month, we've been talking about spring into action. There's been this thematic thread of planting seeds. This is spring season. We gave out on first Sunday, the message was about moving through the storm, which was last week, but it was about planting. And we actually did a demonstration on how to grow seedlings and germinate seedlings. So people all over who've been watching, people left with packets and began the process of seeding. So first Sunday, they bring them back. We're going to put them in the backyard in the garden. So this motif of planting this seed, this concept of identity, we've got to break this down a little bit, because I want to give you an opportunity. I'm just going to ask you a few questions, and then we're going to start a dialogue, right? Janet and I have these conversations, and this is a breaking of the fourth wall, so to speak. So I invite you, I encourage you, and especially my Infinite Life Streamers team, take some notes. We're going to move through. We're not going to go so deep that you can't understand it, but we do want to unlock some ancient wisdom concepts so that we can explore what it means to embrace identity. Sister Janet, what do you consider identity to be based on your studies in life?
First, Rev Jeff, Lady Kenitha, Infinity Fellowship, all of you, thank you. It is so good to be back. And I've just had a blast this morning so far.
Okay, good. That's Infinity, you know, we say.
I know. So just the warmth and the love, and really thank you both for offering this place for people to come and feel held and to know that they are held. So it's very good to be back. Definitely need to give honor to all of my teachers in the tradition where I have been trained. I am pretty sure that quote I probably got from somewhere, so just let me be fair about that. But really want to thank also my first teacher, my mother, and my teacher, my father, who has transitioned and moved on. And in his name and in the name of all of us, thank you for this opportunity to be here. Okay, so identity, the loaded word of identity. And then also ego. And like, oh, ego, if just my ego were in the way. Oh my goodness, my ego. And things that we try to do, really to try to figure out how to navigate this experience that we're having, right, in this human container. And so, when you ask me the question, what is identity? You know, I'll ask some more questions, which is, who says, like, who is giving you this identity that you might have accepted? And how is that identification serving you? And so part of identity is about who we believe we are, who we think we are, who someone told us we are, and what happens when you get still and I don't know, what else is there, right? So that would be the first question that I would ask about identity. You know, we come in through the path of a mother, seeded by a father, sperm, egg, however you want to look at these energies, but that's how we come in.
Right.
And then what happens? How do we become?
I'm stumped.
I'm stumped too.
But I love this though, because in the conversation like this, I just want to give a precursor. Like 1851, there was a physician who was very tied to the slave industrial complex in America. And he created a mental health condition called drapetomania. This is a psychological condition that black people were diagnosed with, who were chattel slaves. Drapetomania was accepted by some of the con artists in the medical industrial complex because it was seen as mental illness. The desire for a slave to be free was diagnosed as a mental illness. And something about my spirit today brought that up, because we have this understanding that systems that are created that serve systems that codify certain behaviors and certain thoughts, especially certain identifications of what identity is, they create other systems that support a particular ideology, a way of moving through the world, a way of knowing. All of these things support it. So even the medical industry, in many ways, in Western society, teaches us and confirms to us something that bleeds over into spirituality and religion, that there's something wrong if you begin to ask questions. Yeah. There's something wrong if you try to unpack things deeper. There's something wrong. Like, we're supposed to take this time right now to just teach somebody one thing, program them with that, Tell them that that is what their salvation is about, and don't think about anything else. Forget about brain development, forget about neurons firing, forget about growth and expansion like the entire universe. Just believe this, and everything eventually is going to be all right. And that's where a lot of people find themselves stuck in this fight with identity. You've done some very deep studies around the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, right? Let's dive into some of those concepts. What comes to mind for me, and again, you are so immersed in this that I love when you begin to unpack these, but this concept of these 5 veils that cover our true self, right? This concept of each one of these veils or obstacles, asmita, I'm gonna let you unpack the breaking down of that, but from what I understand, the limited understanding of Sanskrit, this asmi, I am, ta, a state of condition. So really who I am, but asmita is not true necessarily, is it? Is it one of the obstacles? Explain this concept for me about, tell me about the kleshas first, and then what asmita is as we talk about this. And y'all take some notes and write this stuff down, because we're gonna come back.
This will be,
Okay.
This is good. First, let me say, wow, that external definition of being, that is really something to pay attention to as we are living this life, right? And that question, what is identity? Who says, and why does it matter, right? Who says? So that's one. The idea with the kleshas and with, the Yoga Sutras in general, part of it is how to navigate this life and how to navigate suffering, how to minimize, potentially avoid, but really navigate living this life in suffering. And the idea of the kleshas it's avidya, which is misunderstanding, and not comprehending, not perceiving what is truth. And so avidya is like the umbrella klesha, and then the kleshas themselves come from many parts. Asmita, which is the one about identity, how do I identify? The other is dvesha, which is this avoidance. There's abhinivesha, which is fear, right? Could be fear of death, but also can be fear of I think it's fear of losing your identity. And then ragas, which is this wanting to always seek pleasure, so doing anything to seek pleasure. And these are the kleshas that, you kind of function within. The thing about asmita is that, yes, okay, ego, how are you identifying? But also wrong identity, so your identity is not appropriate for what's happening. And a nuance to that is false identity. Like it's not true. And so when you are exploring your own identity, and dare I say identities, right? Because there's lots of roles, and are the roles your identity as well? Possibly. Or are you just stepping into a role and it's not your identity, right? Okay. So that's the unpacking according to the sutras. And one of the things that's offered in the sutras is that when you can avoid suffering, when you can perceive, realize, anticipate that this will cause suffering, then you have autonomy, you have this ability to actually avoid it. And so that's what should be done. Yes. So exploring these identities and realizing that the kleshas also serve as motivation for your actions. So you're acting based on the kleshas, based on not comprehending, miscomprehension, misunderstanding, and then these things.
But is that acting or reacting? So if I know that there are these things that I'm dealing with, right? Like if I'm dealing with wrong identity, false identity, if I'm dealing with misunderstanding, if I'm dealing with these different veils that cover my true self, then if I am moving forward with the knowledge and understanding of those things, are my actions reactive? Am, I am
Yeah.
I am I trying to avoid them? I'm just
Yes.
asking. You're right.
Which is the rest of the kleshas, right? So ragas, right? Clamoring for only what's pleasurable. Dvesha, avoiding all at all cost what is negative. And you ask such a good question, right? Because how do we even unpack this? Who is walking around going, I woke up this morning and I brushed my teeth because I don't want my teeth to fall out because we had that conversation this morning, right? But at all costs, I'm never going to eat anything sweet, blah, blah, blah. I mean, we can try to take it to a level of application. But yeah, the point is a lot of times we're not realizing this. So what would make you dig deep into this exploration, right? Suffering. What is hurting your heart? What hurts? What is causing pain? What is what are your fears, right? What's making you fearful? I'll give an example that's I
Okay.
think kind of funny and light.
Okay. I'll take it.
So, my daughters are grown, and when they first went to SMU in Dallas, I was very much a helicopter mom.
Oh,
And-
okay. That was your identity at the time.
My identity, mom, right?
Mom is an identity.
And now, as mom, protector, provider, nurturer, nourisher, all the things, okay, even though my children grown are going to another state and another school, I still need to function in this role of mom. So I need to be there. How much can I be there? And for a while there, I was there quite often. And then it came apparent, like, no, they don't need me to go to class with them and take notes for them, and they really don't need me to be around because they're trying to grow up in their own light. Then my role itself, A, has evolved, and B, I really had to re-examine that identity as mom. I had a wrong identity of what mom is after the kids are grown.
Oh.
And the mom that I was trying to be, living their lives, was not true. Asmita.
Even though it was at one point. So
Even
an
though it was
identity,
true at one point.
loving, nurturing, take care of my baby's mom,
Yes.
at one point was very true.
Yes.
But now that the moms are adults,
The kids are adults.
now
yes.
that the kids are adults, hopefully the moms have been adults most of the time.
And the identity of mom has evolved. It's not that same.
It's important to say that. Yeah.
the-
It's evolved.
Yeah, so still mom, but not the mom where I need to do everything. I need to, pay for everything. Hint, hint. No, I'm kidding.
I'm not-
You get what I'm
well,
saying.
Right.
Yeah, you get
right.
what I'm saying.
But this is also though good because I'm thinking about how, we talk about how people infantilize adults, right? They treat adults like kids, and a lot of people get handicapped because people think that they're being nurturing to their kids. They think they're being loving, but in reality is, I think of child development. And as a father of 5, 3 out of the house and 2 still at home, still learning and still dealing because every child, even with 1 or 2, is different, and each one gets a different parent and parental experience. And yet, I'm wanting to be mindful of how we move through the world. We talk about identity. One of the things that we want to give our children and young people is identity, but also prepare them to live in a way. What transformed the way that I looked at that navigation of the evolution of me as a dad, from protector, provider, look out for, teach them how to take care of things, come in and fix something. Oh, something's broke. Let me come in and fix that. Let me take care of that. But what I had to realize was that something needed to shift as I became more mature, even before my grace, because I asked myself a question in a meditative state. How will my kids navigate the world when I'm no longer here to save the day?
Exactly.
So that question alone forces us to be in a position where we now start to evolve our own identity. And we carry this around a lot. And asmita, when I think about the focus on the ego, I often hear people teach about this being ego. Let's talk about wrong identity, false identity.
Yeah.
What's the difference between? Because people hear, oh, well, wrong is false, right? What do
I
we?
know, right? And but there's a nuance to it.
Okay.
There's just a nuance to it, right? So let's say wrong identity. I'll use myself as an example, right? I love all my nieces and nephews. And, I have a mothering spirit, right? Mothering nature. And in a heartbeat, will step in as mother for all of them, right? But first of all, that is wrong identity. I'm not their mother. And even beyond that, even though I am a mother, it is not true that I am their mother.
Oh,
So it's subtle.
big nuance, yeah.
Right? It's
That's
subtle,
good.
but when you are navigating who you are in this world, how you're showing up, where you feel maybe supported and aligned and where you don't, these might be some questions and nuances that will help you with, oh, actually, that's not my role. That's not who I am. That's not my identity for that. And then you can start letting go and releasing and turning back to what is true for you. I am the mother of Grace and Sparrow, right? So.
How difficult is it? And I say this with the understanding that you are not just a yoga instructor. You're trained in yoga. You can you can walk the 8 limbs, and you can talk about the yamas and the niyamas and the asana and the pranayama. You can go through all of the wheel and teach that, but you're also a yoga therapist, and you also chant. So there are things that you do that holistically stitch these things together. I ask this question with that understanding that we're diving below the surface in this seeking of identity. Why is it so hard for people to let go of things that they consider in when we're talking about asmita, the things that they consider important?
Yeah.
Dr. Jones, Rev Jeff,
Yeah.
Baba, Daddy.
Yeah.
Why is it so hard to let go of things that end up being sometimes titles that we get, that we reasonably achieve, but why is it difficult to navigate that when spirit tells us it might be time to grow?
Oh, gosh. Yeah. Why is that hard? Where do I even start? I think it's human nature to want to be something. And this idea of just being, so part of the journey is really, in each moment, can you be who you were meant to be in each moment? That's kind of the journey, right? And the difficulty in that is that, for me, well, I want to know what this moment is going to entail so that I can be in control of being the best me in this moment. And as a matter of fact, if I could just go ahead and define what this moment's going to be,
right.
it's all going to be perfect.
Right.
I mean, so there's that.
Oh, wow.
There's all of that versus, ooh, you mean I just have to sit here and allow it to unfold? That's why this whole breathing exercise is important. Nobody wants to allow their breath to unfold. When you say focus on the breath, it's like, get your breath, right?
Right, we make a to-do list.
Well, your breath is already happening. So, the practice of just sitting with that and allowing. So this is not easy. I have not found that, it's just difficult. So I would imagine other people are experiencing that. And then I kind of equate it to this idea of, faith. The thing that is tremendously difficult about faith is that, that's it. Like there may not be anything else to see except for being.
Right now.
Yeah, and see, it even gets me here. So I don't know how the rest of y'all feel, but yeah, that part. And I do have you're right. I have a lot of tools. I mean, tools is kind of, but that's what they are. And so they help me get still and get quiet. And then, this whole idea of getting quiet and then trying to perceive what's coming and being okay that you can't translate it. You don't know. You may, but you may not.
Be still, be quiet. Last week, we talked about through the storm. I unpacked briefly, Spirit unpacked briefly, this understanding that was given to us by our elders and our ancestors. And I'm just going to put this out here, not knowing whether we've not discussed this or not, but I don't know how it was in your household coming up. But when I was coming up, when the rain came and the thunder started coming, my mom and dad would tell us to go somewhere and sit down and be quiet because the Lord was working. That's what they would always say, this concept of, the Lord's working. There was all of that. But be still. Beautiful. It is so difficult to be still in this world right now.
Yes.
Especially when we are dealing with Asmita 2.0. Right? Because we got Asmita intelligence, AI.
Oh my God.
It's like now I look at this in the real moment. Now, because of AI, the internet, we literally now are dealing with even a more dualistic way of moving through the world. Yeah. There's the struggle for identity that we would go through if we were just willing to sit down and be still. Yeah. It would be a wonderful errand to do that. And yet we still now have to maintain a presence that is virtual, that contributes to or takes away from true identity, because it's not even a real identity at all.
Yeah, and doesn't go away.
And it doesn't go away.
Right.
So in terms of how do we apply this search for identity and this way of navigating suffering in a world where we can, if we get frustrated, just turn to the internet and put up a picture and get all of the affirmations we like?
Yeah. Oh, this is good. Good. Oh gosh, where to even go with that answer? So, with that question, this whole so you remember like the question, what is identity? Why does it matter? Who says? Mm-hmm. Who says? And where does it come from? So, there's a lot of defining of who we should be coming externally. A lot of it.
Oh, good.
Right?
Good.
And a thing that I like to do is, I'll make my grocery list and I'll say, need to have chia seeds and need to have this because somebody said it's healthy. It'll make you healthy.
Uh-huh.
I want to be a healthy being, so this is how I become healthy, right? And eating the chia seeds a couple of days in a row, and then it turns out I'm allergic to chia seeds.
Oh my gosh.
But that whole drive towards my identity, I am going to purchase chia seeds because I will be a healthy person. I will be good and fixed and okay if I eat these chia seeds. Well, who says, where did that come from? That all came from external. That did not come from internal. Who am I? And so, of course, it turns out, allergic to chia seeds. Okay, this is not how you get to this, like, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? So, yeah. So that whole idea of, yes, you can put something up to be who you maybe committed to who you were going to be or said you were going to be for someone else or whatever, but still somewhere along the line, it's really going to be you looking in your eyes in the mirror and then getting a chance to say, hey, who am I? Who are you?
Well, let me ask a question, and then listen, if you've got a question or comment or observation, go ahead and drop it in the chat, and we'll pull that up. We're going to bring in, I'm giving a 5-minute warning because we're going to bring in our Infinite Life streamers in the room. So if y'all have something that's hitting with you right now, something you're relating to, something you'd like to ask and put into the conversation, get prepared. I'm going to light up the screen in about 4 minutes and 40 seconds. To keep that countdown going. When we talk about perspective and this grappling with this wrong identity, with this false identity, with what is true, with who I truly am, how difficult is it to break out of this when we have been trained to be certain things? Like,
Yes.
I'm just going to pull from my life because I appreciate your example. We always want to pull from my life. The dutiful son, the brother who is the fixer and the healer. And I put myself in a position for years where even with the siblings, with the household we were raised in, we've been able to do some very remarkable things. And there has been this thin line that I always walked because I was the sibling that was always going to try to resolve things. I would take the L, but what that was me being a martyr and me taking pride in being able to be the silent force that kept everything together. And that was actually eating me up from the inside. I had to stop that because I had to realize as a grown man that my childhood dynamic cannot be sustainable as an adult who is now moved to another space of identity, not just as a husband, not just as a father, not just as a friend, not just as a kindred spirit, but also as a spiritual leader, as an author, as everything that I am. You just can't get bogged down in things that are since passed away.
This is so good.
And it's difficult sometimes, and I will say this to anybody out here who's dealing with this, because this is what this is about. This is unpacking in real time, and it's messy. And if you're looking for 1, 2, 3 quick solutions to it, let me tell you, this is not the place, because that would buy into this whole concept of here is the answer, go don't learn anything else. If nothing else, today is about self-interrogation and unpacking some of these deeper truths. As you're going through unpacking, you're still dealing with the juxtaposition of what the external world thinks. And in my case, one thing that came up for me is, and we've talked about this in the past, my brother is one of the genius level academic minds. My sister does a lot of work in healthcare. The work that I do in the world, I'm blessed to live in and on divine purpose. But in times where we've appeared together, my brother and I particularly, because we've been in the media a lot, people send messages, direct messages, or they put the chats up, and what they say is almost remarkable. My mom and dad always used to say, son, when you open your mouth, you put your brains on display. So when people put their brains on display in some of these chat forums, this is a comment that has come up since COVID. I would have loved to go back in time and observe what the dinner table was like for you all. Because y'all have all of this wisdom, this intellect, all of this is coming out. I would have loved to, and I think about that as a compliment, but then I look back and I say, you would be sadly and sorely disappointed. Because if you thought my parents, with their 6th grade and 10th grade education, were sitting there having us do book reports on Marcus Garvey and the Universal Negro Improvement Association, and in the background, my dad was playing Dr. Ben tapes, and that we were doing Black History Month celebration and Kwanzaa at the dinner table. That's the romantic notion. Instead of, no, it just so happens that we grew up in a loving environment and a supportive environment. We had parents who were there. We didn't unpack anything super deep at the table, but that nurturing environment of just being there led us on our individual paths to begin to study things that weren't necessarily programmed into us by our children. But then you're dealing with this outward perception of, oh my gosh, you have all of this, please grant it to me.
Yeah.
And it ends up not being a pursuit of individual spiritual growth, but more of the Western dopamine rush that people get from, ooh, I learned something new today. I got to go buy a new book today. Oh, I've learned something new today. I got to learn how to do that chant. Oh, I learned something new today. This was a great meditation. I'm going to do it. And yet nothing else changes in their life.
Yeah. Woo!
What do we do when identity is around us, our spiritual teacher, our doctorate, our all of these things?
Yeah.
And yet we don't see change in our lives in the way we move through the world, and we don't find peace.
Yeah. Okay.
Told you we're going to get deep today, right?
This is way deep.
Y'all
All
ready?
right.
Y'all ready?
Yeah, we're trying to flow just a little bit. One thing about avidya, right, the misunderstanding, miscomprehension, not understanding appropriately, is that there is room for identity to evolve. So having the understanding that as you move through life and reflect and discover who you are, your identity will evolve. And you want it to evolve. And part of the tension for you might be you're holding on to an identity that no longer serves you, and that's keeping you stuck versus going through the process of letting go, grieving, moving through, and finding and being open to what's new. So that's the first thing that I would just say is an umbrella. And then also being aware, this is really, if, maybe this will be a practice that can be done. When you have desire, whatever the desire is, what is motivating you? Why are you doing what you're doing? And it sounds like in the example you gave, you had some discovery of, I'm doing this because it's the expectation of me.
Yes.
And people think this is who I am, but I can't. I'm going to break. And so I'm going to have to let go of that identity, accept who I am. But you tuned into what was motivating you. And the things that motivate us, what's so nice about this is it's not good or bad. It's not like a check mark that you have to do, and I did good, and okay, now I'm there.
Right.
And also, it's not something that's finite. I mean, do you know how many rounds of this there are? How many rounds of this that you go through, right? But one of the things I would say, the third thing that I will say is particularly, I think in our cultures, and as, Black people living in America, our ancestors, our parents, our grandparents, whispered in our ears who we are to become for love, nurturing, and protection. Oh. So they gave us their best. And our, opportunity is, as we're going through this life, balancing that and putting that in perspective and everything else. But those wishes that came upon us, those blessings that came upon us, were because they wanted us to thrive.
That's right.
They wanted us to thrive. And it's the same thing we've done for our kids, right? And our kids will do forever. And, whomever you're speaking life and motivation into, that's a big chunk of it, right? And so then you balance through there. So I just wanted to, it all hangs together, it just, you don't really get to pick one. And you said it, you don't get to pick one and then that's your ticket. And
there's the ticket.
You're there.
Yes.
Got my ticket, you don't have yours.
It's done, right, it's over. It's this notion that you can achieve something and it's done. It's like, I check it off the list, done, got it done. That's important in goal setting, but when we're talking about evolving through life, there's so much more. And something interesting that you said as I get ready to bring in our group and then invite people into the chat before we close out today. These conversations around, when you mentioned the ancestors and they gave us love, they gave us protection, they whispered these things into our ears, that is a beautiful way of understanding, and especially when we talk about what's happened here in the Western Hemisphere the last 400 or 500 years, which is just a tiny portion of human history. They gave us things to protect us so that we could have the strength and the fortitude to move forward, and yet we are responsible for doing something similar and to move us from survivalist mode. And the quickest example I can give is chitlins, because I used to love chitlins, and I make a great version of vegan chitlins now. But I used to eat chitlins because it was a tradition in my family to eat chitlins, going way back.
I'm letting you have this.
You don't like chitlins? Okay, well, I'm just saying, we all got something. And we said, well, what are chitlins? Chitlins are hog guts. They are hog intestines. When we think about the history in a culinary sense, Lady Kenitha's a culinary specialist. The history of chitlins is that we didn't eat high on the hog, as they used to say. The big house, they ate high on the hog. They got the ham, they got the bacon, they got all that. They took everything else and threw it out. And then those who were able to get that, they took the guts, cleaned them, washed them, took the ears, took the feet, and turned it into something that they could eat to survive. It is brilliant. It's survivalist. They also were working 12 to 14 hours a day from can't see in the morning, can't see at night. So when we bring that up to the modern day, yes, it was something they ate to survive, but now you have to deal with hypertension, lack of activity. It was survivalist food. Sometimes when you're in the wilderness, you have to drink dirty water, but you don't continue to drink dirty water once you're at a place where you're free. So I look at that and I think about identity. Identity, when people come up, homecoming games, 30, 40 years later, and they want to talk about something dumb that you did in a dormitory when you were 19 years old. I don't love that. I think it's fine. Oh, yeah, I remember. That was funny. Yeah, but, you got down on the floor and you said, okay, that's cool. Yeah, and then when you made you do the push-up, okay, bro, listen, that was a whole 40-something years ago. And I am not the 19-year-old kid that I was then. Yeah. But some people hold on to identities for us. That external thing.
Oh, my gosh. Yes.
Family, friends, classmates. They hold on to identity spaces and markers in history. Ironically, those spaces that they hold on to most are the spaces where they felt like they had more power over us.
Oh, interesting.
And they were more comfortable in the world. So to the extent that we are battling not just those external forces, but how we feel about those spaces, because those could have been spaces of vulnerability. They could have been spaces of trauma that we're not interested in visiting again. So I think it comes back around to what you were saying about this concept of grieving. And that it's okay to grieve and natural to grieve who you used to be.
Yes.
Why is it important to allow yourself to grieve as you are transforming and evolving in identity?
Well, that's how you're really going to be able to let go of that. Yeah. And awareness is a big chunk of it. So being aware that, I'm clinging on to trying to be this person for whatever needs it met for you, even though it doesn't serve you. And for me, it's been conscious effort on some of those things. You just kind of have to, I think, be aware and then accept. It is the grieving process. Yeah. So, and then, when you can recognize that other people are trying to keep you in a certain spot, for yourself, it's also, okay, I really don't have to be here with you. I actually.
Oh, that's a boundary, right?
I actually can move on. Is a big piece to it. And the thing is, I've had some healers tell me, so it's a big chunk of the journey is really for the people closest to you. They tend to be your family members.
Yeah, true.
They know where the buttons are, and that is actually your karma to work through. So those are your lessons. I know.
But okay, and then I'm bringing in everybody. But look, because you said something. Listen, at Infinity, here's what we want. Whether you're ground zero, whether you got a PhD in world religion, whatever it is, we're always in this middle of understanding things. There is a misunderstood concept that you mentioned, and most people think it's just strictly cause and effect. I ran over somebody's cat. That means that I'm going to pay for this. Somebody's going to come run over mine, and that's karma. But you mentioned karma. Unpack for us what a deeper understanding of what karma is, and I'm going to open up the room.
Karma is action. I am not a karma expert, but I take a lot of courses. But my understanding of karma and how I've heard it used in particularly maybe pop culture is something happened to you and that's karma. And it's funny because the karma is really only yours.
Only yours.
So it's your karma, not that it happened to the other person. It's what's happening for you in your karma. And so it's just funny how we try to assign it to other people. And it's like,
right.
No, that's not. So how I used it was my own karma with my family members and people closest to me, right? That's, you will see the patterns in the journey and that kind of stuff. And that's another reflection on identity too. What are the patterns happening in your life? If you feel like something keeps happening to you, particularly in a job or in a relationship or those types of things, then exploring the pattern of, okay, well, maybe a dream too, recurring dreams. Who am I in this dream? Who do I think I am in this dream? What should I be learning? If this keeps happening, should I be doing something differently?
Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
There's a lot here.
Yeah, and it's great. We'll get to
Yeah.
have part 2, part 3, part 4. This is what Infinity is about, y'all. Listen, I'm going to bring in our Infinite Life streamers. And if you are in the chat and you have a question or comment or observation, now's the time. Go ahead and put it in there. Do not wait. Do not put yourself in a place where you say, oh, I wanted to ask this while they were unpacking or while they were talking about it. Let me say it now. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my Infinite Life streamers. They're here on the screen. We're going to give them an opportunity to share some of their thoughts, or if they have a question or something they want to put in the conversation. But if you are in the chat, go ahead and put something in the chat. We're going to do this for about 10 minutes or so. If we can get to that, we will answer that question. We'll put it up on the screen, and we invite you to dig deeper. Somebody already said, dig deep and explore your suffering. This concept is there, that karmic understanding of what am I learning from this experience? And why is it registering this way with me? So we've got some Infinite Life streamers on, and I won't just pick randomly, but somebody wave your hand to go first so I can call your name out. I think I saw, who's going first? I got somebody, I can barely see the screen. We're going to pull you up. That's Thea. Thea's going. Come on, Thea.
I'll go.
All right.
I was that kid in school. That was my identity as a child.
There we go.
Or one of them anyway. Thank you so much for sharing. There was so many things in here where I was like, whoop, whoop, uh-oh, self, uh-oh, whoa, oh. So, and I think your mention of, you were talking about wrong and false identities, but then I was thinking to myself, like, how do you identify, or how do you catch it, like when it's happening? And then when you mentioned the suffering, I was like, oh, well, there it is. The things that you muddle over and the things are just like, but why? But I don't understand. I feel like that as soon as you start to like question and revisit and not let go, then you've entered the space of suffering, and therefore you need to question the connection of that to the identity that you are dealing with in that moment. And so for me, like Rev had a great example with like being a child of a parent and feeling like they were wholly your responsibility, but they're not. But you kind of step into that, and then you have to figure out how to step out of that, because it's not your job to make them do better. It's more theirs and ours to support. But I think for me at the present, it's more career. And so it's so interesting because this past week, I feel like I've gone through like the 3 phases of like grief, not really realizing what was happening. And so when you mentioned suffering, I was like, I'm not suffering, but you are like in very like nuanced ways, especially if you keep repeating yourself, or you're like calling your girlfriends being like, I don't understand why this is happening. You are suffering, and there is suffering occurring. And so, yeah, I would definitely say for myself, this is more commentary than a question, but I think I'm in a state of like a shedding of skins where it's very uncomfortable, where there is an acute awareness to suffering and the degrees of that. Not so much where I'm in pain or agony, but just the effects of like something that is not aligned with me completely, and how the effects of that trickles in other areas of life, and functioning well. And so I feel like with the idea of shedding of skins, like the uncomfortability of like knowing you've outgrown a space, but then once that skin is gone, the vulnerability of being like, uh-oh, now who am I? So I feel like I'm in that space. And yeah, I feel like I'm in a state of transformation, but I just wonder, I don't know, like, how do you not go backwards? Like there's an acute awareness. I know it's happening.
That's good.
I've gone through like the anger, the denial, and the bargaining, trying to get them employers to get them to see me in a way that I'm just like, I don't understand what you don't see. Why am I trying to convince you at this point, right? That's a false identity, because I'm trying to get them to see the version of me that I've been for them the whole entire time. And all of a sudden it's like they don't know who I am, or I'm just like, I'm so confused. And so all this bargaining is happening. I think I'm teetering on acceptance, but then I feel bad. I'm like, well, dang, I feel bad for me and them, I think, because I'm just like, y'all really don't see me? Like all this work, So I don't know. I guess how do you, I guess there's definitely grief happening, but I don't know. I don't know if that makes any sense to you. So it's like how there's a shift of awareness happening, but how do you kind of sustain oneself in that space, I guess, knowing that you're about to state of full vulnerability, like I know it's coming, sustain yourself in that place.
That's great. That's great there. So what do you think, Jan? How do you sustain when you're in a place of change? What are some of the tools that people can get for this?
Yeah. Thank you for sharing your experience.
It's
I
beautiful.
am resonating with some things that you seem to be going through. A couple of things that I will say is kudos to you for the awareness. That's huge. And it's actually enough. So, not to minimize anything that is happening in your life and in your world, but it is enough that you are aware. You're on this journey, and it's not linear. It's just not. So this awareness piece, and that's why I wanted to start with that. That's what is guiding you and carrying you through. And then, the other thing that I would just say, questions for yourself as you continue on your self-connection with your identity is, putting in perspective for yourself what things are important. So you know who you are, and then where is it important that others know who you are? And then how does that serve you? So that's just top in there's many ways to go with that. But the first thing I would say really is the awareness and the fact that the journey is not linear.
That's good. And it is not even the process of grief. When we talk about denial, we talk about anger, we talking about acceptance, we talk about all of those stages. Those traditionally are listed, but they're not in sequential order. They happen at random moments at different times. And there's grief from relationships, there's grief from jobs, there's grief from loved ones that we lose. Yeah. And it pops up at different times to give us an opportunity to reconcile why I'm feeling this and to be okay. Like you said, everything is okay in the moment right now. I am breathing and I am present. And sometimes that's enough. Yeah. So that's what it is. And I know we live in a world of KPIs and ROI. Everybody's got,
especially for work.
Especially for work. Yeah. It's hard to not bring that into our spiritual growth and development.
And then when you're getting evaluated at work, that's other stuff. Yeah, it can be a real it can be a real contribution to your asmita. That's what I would say.
That's good.
Not true. That part's not true. It's wrong identity, and it's not true. So
that you are your key performance indicators, that you are your evaluation for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
That level of evaluation.
Oh, I love it. Let's go, before we get to the open space, let's go to the Lensleys down in Georgia. And then I've got a couple of people from the chat. Thank you. Pour into the chat, y'all.
They muted us.
Screen is y'all's.
Peace. Hello. Thank you both for this beautiful conversation. I appreciate it. Always lovely to see you, Sister Janet. You're amazing. Just quickly, what stuck out for me and what I kept replaying and thinking about was who gave you the identity that you've accepted.
Yes.
I was like, ooh, and it's one thing to be given an identity or for people to think they know who you are or try to tell you who you are. But I think the key point that stuck out for me was that you've accepted. I was like, oh, okay. As a recovering oldest daughter and oldest sibling myself, it made me think about my parents and how a lot of times parents will give you your identity.
That's right.
And it's usually to serve their own interests if they're not in a, a good alignment space. But it's like, oh, but I've accepted it. Usually as kids, you don't know any better, whatever. You just go along, you're the oldest. This is what's expected of you. You're the big sister. This is what's expected of you. This is how you have to look out for your sibling. This is how you have to take care of others. We expect you to help out around the house because you're the oldest, that whole concept. And it's like, but at some point I accepted that and I kept that narrative going, and it could have been out of ego. It could have been out of, oh, I'm, big sis. I show up for everybody when they need me. I show up for my parents because I'm the example.
Yeah.
And it's like letting that go, that grieving process, perfect, because you do have to grieve that person and hold on to the things that you want to hold on to from that identity, but moving forward, like what parts of that are working for me, and then what parts of that do I need to grieve and let go of in order to be who I am today. So it's really like that concept of like anybody can tell you anything when whatever they think about you, sure, they're right, but do you accept that? Do you believe that? That's the most important part of that.
Very good.
Oh, that was a teaching
Was that
moment
snap?
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a snap. Snapping all around. Sarah, you got something to add to that, don't you?
A little bit. I was thinking about what came to me the first week we were discussing the theme of this month. We talked about so what. And at the beginning, Sister Caldwell, you mentioned ego and some of the baggage that maybe be attached to it, the way we approach ego these days. What do you think the seed of ego has been sowed into our identity? What do you think that seed purpose is? When you think of a rose bush, for example, it has thorns on it, but then there's this beautiful thing that we have utilized that bush for. And so how can we look at ego in a sense that brings maybe some more balance to it? If you approach it from the aspect of it being, a seed that is planted in us to grow and serve a specific purpose.
That's great.
Yeah,
All
that's a
right,
good.
we'll unpack those. Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I like that you ego is important. So what you're saying, I mean, it's part of how we survive in this human experience, right? So and then the idea about it is, can you tune in with what's motivating you? And if what's motivating you is extreme desire for pleasure or extreme avoidance of something that's harmful, or fear of death or fear of lost identity, different from being what your purpose is in that moment, different from that, then that's where you start to unpack what the balance is. And these things happen in a nanosecond when you're in real time, right? You just got to function. But when you have a chance to sit and to meditate and get quiet and reflect on maybe an experience, and then try to unpack from there. But I appreciate that what you're saying, and you're right, is, yeah, we need our ego to live. Asmita is not ego. Asmita is wrong identity. False identity, misunderstanding who you are and what you should be doing in this moment, probably because you're motivated from something else. You're grasping for pleasure. I want to be the hero every time, actually.
Yes.
I want to be, I'm an oldest as well. I got to tell you, I kind of enjoy when everything's going, where
Right.
it shouldn't be going, and then I come in and do some cleaning up and say a little bit of this and that and a little bit of that, and things fall in shape, and I'm like, yeah, I kind of like that, right? But it's a pain. I don't want that every day. My motivation is, hey, Mom, hey, Dad, did you see that? Did you see that I took care of
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. All the way back to
my
childhood.
motivation, right? Yeah. But, in the realness of it all, it's like, oh, okay, hold on. I don't want to do that every day. I have a life.
It's not sustainable.
It's not sustainable. I have other things. So I don't know if that answered your question, but that's
No, I think
my-
I think we're right in here. I think it's in there, and that's part of what Tashana said, and to the degree what Terrell was talking about. This understanding of what do we accept. You know, it's not what people say. It's what do we accept as true about us.
Yeah.
Basically, you know, everything we learned in life, we learned that we needed to be learned. It's important. They say we learned in kindergarten, right? In kindergarten, you have this sticks and stones and break my bones, but words will never hurt me, you know, and all of that. And you say, well, but words do hurt because when people speak things and we accept them,
Accept them. That's it.
that's what it is. We got to stop accepting. I'm going to move to Reverend Christina because I know she's got something to drop with us. And then I'm going to go to some questions in the chat. And I love it. Y'all are lighting up the chat. We'll move through these pretty quickly because we know we want, Sister Janet's got a lot of other healing to do today as well. Sister Christina.
Thank you, Sister Janice. You know, I tell you, everything always is in alignment. The group that I work with, we're doing shadow work. And for myself, doing the shadow work, it was a little, you know, as you talked about identity, it was a little rough because, you know, you don't want to believe those things about yourself. You think that you're everything. But, you know, going through it, I was like, ooh, girl, you need to tighten up on some things. But my question to you is, when I'm working with the group and when someone discovers something about themselves, and it also is identity, and you know they don't want to accept it. They just say, "Oh, I don't want to accept it. That's not me. I don't care what, you know, what this it's not a curriculum, but it's like a book we're reading. I don't care what the book says. That's just not me." So my question to you is, how can I help some of the members in the group? I'm not, everybody does their change at their own pace and at their own time, but to encourage, to, you know, to rub their back, to get them to understand that if you want to move to the next thing or the next level, these are the things you're going to have to do. So that's my question.
That's great. That's great. What comes to mind for you, Sister Janet, as I get this chat ready there? Great,
Thank
Reverend
you.
Christina.
Yes, thank you for the question. You know, I have to say a couple of things. One, I am not experienced enough with what you're, you know, what you're helping the group with. So you know, I won't go too deep in what I would offer, but I can tell you what I do in my practice, in what I do when I am working with clients. You know, we are taught to see, and I imagine you're in the same boat. There's a lot that we see well before anyone who comes to us is ready to move towards what they say they're ready to move towards. And a lot of times they don't really articulate what they're ready to move towards. For my discipline, it might show up as chronic back pain or chronic headaches or something like this. So part of it is the introduction of what's possible, which it sounds like that's what you've done, and then allowing that to be what they respond to, looking at how do they respond and what is their response, and that is the information for you on what's possible in that moment. So that's how I do it, and then you know, when people show signs of ready to go to the next level, then I can take them to the next level. But it's like a daily assessment, and each time we meet, assessment of what's really happened and where the progress has gone. And it sounds like this person is just not ready. They're at their point, what they can do.
That's good. That's good. Thank you, Reverend Christina.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it does go in. It does go to. This goes to wrong identity and false identity. Now, I'm about to dive. I'm just going to give you 40 seconds.
Go for it.
I'm going to give you 40 seconds of this.
Okay.
Why can't people see that it's easy just to change their thoughts?
Oh my God.
Why can't people do the work that they need to do to just grow? Why won't people take the prescriptions that have worked for years and just do them as a spiritual leader even? That comes up in my own consciousness. And I have to then reconcile, based on identity, wrong, true, false, whatever it may be, I have to reconcile whether I am in charge of somebody else's life and how they respond to things, even if I put things in the world.
Yeah.
There's this notion of, oh, why don't they do? Well, why am I in my ego space? Why am I harmed by somebody else's actions not aligning with what I think they should be?
There you go.
That's what it comes down to. It's not just always how do I help, it's why do I desire to help and what is the desired outcome? And then unpacking, why do I want this specific outcome?
Yeah.
Is it so that I can say, yep,
Yeah.
did that?
Yeah. How does it define you? Ooh. How does that specific outcome define you as whatever you are? Yeah.
Ooh.
And I think as a parent, who was that Thea who brought up the parenting? That is the whole struggle. Oh my goodness. Don't live your own life. I've lived all these lessons for you. Here, you take this, you start there. You don't have to make these mistakes. Make some different mistakes.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And the outcome should be.
Yes. Yes. And if you're in that loop, and if I'm in that loop, and as parents, if we're in that loop, we're actually not, we're lying. Let me just say this. I'm cutting through the deep stuff. We're lying. We're not trying to, we have a good intent. We're trying to make our kids better. But in reality, most of the time, we're trying to fix things about ourselves that we thought were mistakes.
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure.
And it may not be our kids' journey.
Yeah.
But again, our ego and our identity, we said, check these things off and don't do them.
I'll be a better person.
Ooh, it's juicy, juicy, juicy. Okay, I got to get some of these things. Thank y'all for joining us. I'm going to go to the chat now. And Sister Alicia, pull up some that we have, and we can see them on the screen. I think we've got one about the idea of suffering in Buddhism, and we scroll down and do, yes. All right, Jacqueline says, I find the idea of suffering in Buddhism and some Eastern traditions difficult to integrate. Although the practices are helpful, is the disconnect caused by Western ideas of trauma or maybe the Ma'afa being the period of time that the went through the Holocaust of the chattel slavery period and all of the hells and the horrors and all the traumatic spaces there. So unpack that in terms of this word suffering, how it resonates from what you studied through the sutras, because this is thousands of years before. We know that there's a connection even to African philosophy, Kemetic philosophy, all of this non-dualistic way of thinking. But in the West, the minute somebody says suffering, we think about that bad childhood experience of trauma or something bad that happened to us, as opposed to this general concept of what we're trying to alleviate.
Yeah. I can't go deep in any of those because that's not my area of deep study. But I will say that suffering in this incarnation is like there's no not suffering. So what yoga offers is a way to navigate it by turning inwards into self. And, the misperception could be that it's bypassing the suffering, but it's not bypassing the suffering.
Good point.
It is awareness of the suffering, and then what I find is it gives a little bit of autonomy in turning into myself and what do I believe and how can I function through. So, the practices, I do find that some of the Buddhist practices very helpful, particularly the one on self-love.
Yes.
Because, the idea being that first love yourself, and, loving yourself in and of itself is like a lifetime journey. We venture to love other people, but this this loving of other people is so that we can love ourselves, probably. And so, this idea of loving ourselves, and then how does this balance with what's going on in the world, which is extreme suffering? I mean, it's,
Extreme and intentional suffering.
intentional
Yeah.
and horror, right?
Yes.
And then the horror that even we have come through as a people. And the thinking is, okay, what were those people doing? Because as horrible as it was for us, there also was survival. Like we came through it. We're here.
We are living proof that
We're
somebody
here.
before us
Yes.
made it through suffering.
Yes, and even among all of the confusion of what to believe, what not to believe, blah, 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 there's something guiding. There's still something guiding us.
Yes.
So, I don't believe I answered the question, but.
No, I think you did, and I think we continue to ask and answer that question. When we look at what suffering is, and just a brief definition, to experience, endure, or feel physical or mental pain, distress, or injury. It also refers to undergoing unpleasant events, losses or defeats, or tolerating, allowing something. So when we think about suffering as something that we're dealing with, suffering could be you're used to paying a certain amount of money, and because of something that has happened over in North Africa, what's called the Middle East, now you go to the gas tank and you see that the prices are going up by 75 or $1 a day. That is a form of endurance, of suffering, of going through. And yet, how do you deal with this without internalizing it? So yogic practices, which is why yoga is such an important part of what we do here at Infinity, the practices allow us to not focus so much on the suffering. When we talk about moving through suffering, I found that we can get fixated on the suffering and amplify the suffering, or we can get fixated on that which allows us to not just survive the suffering, but to thrive in spite of things that just exist in the world. How do we continue to live a better life? I found that you don't live a better life when you focus solely on the suffering and the sources of the suffering. That's why doom scrolling is so important as something to let go of. Dr. Daniel Amen, psychiatrist, he's got this wonderful conversation around changing your brain and changing your affecting your neuroplasticity. We know when we think new things, we develop new neurological pathways. That's neuroplasticity. It's important because when we stop thinking and we just go to faith or trust alone, then we actually dumb ourselves down. We prevent ourselves from growing. But he unpacks what he calls the doom loop. And this doom loop, when we focus simply on the things that we cannot control, those things put us into a cycle that continues to harm us. And what we do is, if we don't break the doom loop, as Dr. Amen would say, and move to the healing loop, which is practices that help us to survive and thrive even more from a place of positivity, what happens is the doom loop traps us, and then we do things that self-harm the brain. Take a deep breath there. The doom loop is exacerbated, connected, and continually reconnected because most of us in the world today, in order to alleviate the doom loop, instead of breaking the pattern, we turn to alcohol and opiates. Scientifically, here's what's deep, Janet. Listen, I was diving deep with Dr. Amen. I was like, this is, and I love the name too, in terms of ancient wisdom and all that. When he explored the doom loop, and he said, you make the choice to inundate yourself with alcohol and opiates, not the social, but just you dive in. Whenever something's wrong, you turn to them. Yeah. But what happens scientifically, chemically in the body is it decreases the functionality of the prefrontal cortex. Yeah. So you actually harm your ability to logically think through things. Yep. And to tap into your decision-making and your fixing abilities in your brain. Yeah. So you create this loop and you're continually in. So yes, we don't create a loop where we fixate, focus on everything that is wrong, everything that is not working out, we begin to ask the question. And I'm looping in before I get to this next question, and then we're almost out of here. There are people who just continually unlucky. Bad things just continue to happen to them. And it's just like, I can't win for losing. You talk to them, it's just like, yeah, man, how you doing? Oh, man, I'm doing the best I can. And then the first thing that they do is go to everything that's negative. Even if they're good. How you doing? Oh, I'm pretty good. Well, I'm still dealing with, and then everything, because it's the doom loop.
Yeah.
But ironically, Neville Goddard said something. Feeling is the secret, author. He said something, and I came across this the other day, and I just had to just laugh. I said, I'm getting ready to talk to Janet on camera with this, and we're going to do this. Neville Goddard said, you are not unlucky. You are only faithful to the wrong assumption.
Oh. Wow.
Is that not just, so everything that you're affirming, everything that you are faithful to the wrong assumption. And I was like, we're going to unpack this wrong identity. We're going to unpack
this is wrong identity.
But you're faithful to it.
You're faithful to it, yeah.
I'm going to be the fixer. I'm going to be the healer. I'm going to be the...
And why, though? Why? What is motivating you?
Why? That's the unpacking. This week, we're going to unpack why. Okay, let me get to the next one. I think Tiffany Smith. Is it possible to get the spelling of the Sanskrit terms mentioned today? Can you recommend any introduction books? Let me say this. I love y'all. I love this place. Don't you love it I love it when people ask questions and they want to know and they want to grow. It's beautiful. Okay, so Sanskrit words that we have used today that we talk about. Let's do the ones that jump out. We said Asmita.
We did say that. So that's Asmita with a long line over the A, Asmita. Actually, this is Yoga Sutra 2.3. So chapter 2.
Yoga Sutra. And these are, again, a book to read, Yoga Sutras.
No. The book I'm going to recommend, though, is The Heart of Yoga by TKV Deshikachar. So Desikichar. And it talks about yoga, the impact of yoga, particularly on healing. But he's got the sutras in the back, and it's got
Beautiful.
the Sanskrit. It's got it written in Sanskrit, then the transliteration, then a nice, easy to understand translation of it. So, yeah.
The Heart of Yoga. One of my Infinite Live Stream folks in there, put that in there. TKV Desikachar. I know that some of you on your laptops, drop it in the chat so everybody can see it.
Yes.
And we thank you.
And
that'll give you. And then those terms that we mentioned, avidya, avesha, all of those are in there as well.
They are. Go to Yoga Sutra chapter 2, verse 3, and you'll have avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, abhinivesha, klesha. You want to chant it?
All right. Hey, we're going to and she can chant it too on top of that. There's a chant. How long is the chant? You want to chant?
2 seconds.
2 seconds.
Just, okay.
Coming soon, chanting classes at Infinity Center, just so y'all know.
Like
no,
that.
we are
Seriously.
in the spring. No, we are. This is part of
this.
this year. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, abhinivesha, klesha. That's it.
Let me use a modern term. It hits different when you chant it.
Thank you. That's
And
why I
why does it hit different when you chant it?
I think,
Unpack that for people who have the understanding of.
well, sound, and these are ancient frequencies.
Yes.
And it's important to hear this language and then start to unpack the meaning.
I love it. Hear
like
it
doing
and then
things
unpack.
fast here, right?
We like it.
Thank you, box.
There it is. We checked it off. We got the exploration of the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. We got the TKV Deskachar, and we got a chant just like that. Check those off. These are great. We can shine our apple on that one. All right, next one we got Sister Iris, I believe. How does identity in a moment reflect or recall that of our ancestors? Example, in a skill or learned behavior, does that energy manifest a new identity or conjure up those that came before that are unfulfilled?
Yeah. My answer is your mileage may vary.
That's a quote
To
for
quote
all
my
time.
teacher.
Yes. Your mileage may vary.
Your mileage may vary. I think as you are on your journey of turning inward and self-reflection, this will be revealed for you. Yeah.
And yeah, that's good. Keep going. You were going
Well, I know there are certain things that the art and gift of healing is from my grandmothers. I know this. So, had to tune in and really get quiet. And then when they started coming to me, it became clear. And, always saw it in my mothers and my aunts and, my father and everything else. But specifically for me, yes. But that came when I got quiet, when I started a daily practice and, journaling through and, again, these things, when you're articulating it, it sounds like it's, oh, you sat down and it came to you and all this other kind of stuff. It was not that simple.
Right.
And, I've been through some hell. So let me just be clear. And even in the hell, you get these little glimpses of, oh, guess what? No. Oh, really? Wait, what? Ah, okay.
Yes.
So that's what I would offer for that answer. Keep sitting, keep reflecting.
I love it. And the fact that we're answering and unpacking these, we also do this against a backdrop as we get ready to close here. Unless Lady Kenitha had something that she was been over there. You got something you want to throw into the microphone? I just want to make sure if you wanted to, you got something. But what I'll unpack is, she's going to do it from her seat. I know if she does, she'll do it on the mic. If you had something, well, I'll say this and then come back to you. When we also are continually working against the backdrop of Western thought and conditioning, where everything is linear.
Hands down.
It is so linear, but ancient traditions come from a nonlinear space. So we talk about, are we getting our ancestors? If this is divine source, if this is spirit, if this is universe, what is being poured into us is actually appears to be separate. It appears to be my mom, my dad. It appears to be me. It appears to be you. Then when these earth suits go away and we go back into this space, was it my ancestors? Was it me? Are we all the same stuff? Our minds tell us in a linear society, oh, well, this is just me. This is everything that I am. This is all of this. Really, it's just the exterior. It's not truly the identity. It's hidden behind those veils, those obstacles.
We didn't even talk about this.
You wouldn't even get to that. That's why we're doing part 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 again. So, Lady Kenitha, they will wrap.
I wrote so much. It connected so many dots, though, and as it continues to connect dots, but I kept coming back to that dualistic nature and the importance of balance in the dualistic nature, the yin and the yang, and knowing that, because you always say that all the time about our human experience. We're spirit navigating a human experience. And I think a lot of times, like I'm leaning into that suffering because I don't like to hear about suffering. I think people of color tend to not want to hear anymore about, suffering. But if I was able to look at it from the point of it being dualistic and knowing that spirit is who I need to lean into for times of strength, love, understanding, knowing that my suffering is going to come from a lot of my human experiences that have some type of finality to it. But my spirit is forever eternal, and so it just keeps moving, but it should be the source point for what is happening from my human experience. It should be the point of what I'm actually tapping into to get my strength to be able to endure moments of perceived suffering. And so I love these conversations because it's just such a great reminder of spirit first, navigating the human experience. And in that human experience, we deal with all these fill in the blanks. But our eternal side, our power side, our spirit side, our healing side, our loving side, our empathy side is all around that universal spirit, that connection. And so this conversation has given me so many different things. It helps me to understand why I write the type of music that I do. It's very chant-based because it is supposed to just be simplistic in the understanding of things that you need through those moments of suffering. But it came through spirit, dualistic, the balance, the good and perceived bad, the yin and the yang, male and female. I love it, y'all. This was great.
I thank you. My head is going towards this journey of becoming one with spirit as the identity.
Ooh.
And then what happens?
Ooh.
And that is, that's what you made me think of when you were describing that. And I am not sure that I've even sat like that. So that'll be an interesting way to sit. And you get close to it, but actually with that first, and then moving from that space, wow. Yeah.
We are spirits navigating the human experience. Let me translate that. We are the water navigating individual vessels' experiences. Because when the vessels go away, what's left? What's in the vessel is still there. It goes back. So the exploration, which is the lack of distraction, not being distracted by the vessels. It's like we get so distracted. Right now, there's a whole global conflict happening over the vessels, controlling resources on the planet that really don't truly belong to us either. So this distraction is what keeps us from being able to see the whole. So, y'all, we have unpacked a lot today in identity.
This was deep.
Yeah, Jay, I'm just going to give you a final statement and then we begin to wrap service. And listen, y'all, we've enjoyed it. We got it done. We had a great time today.
My statement is this.
Tell me this. Yeah, you got something.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Thank you. And I would encourage if, two things.
Okay.
Write down all your identities and just see where they're coming from. Just, write them all down. Who are you, and roles and identities and role confusion or whatever. Just get it all down. And then if there are any that you think you can let go of, just see, right? And then the second thing is the meditation that we did, that love meditation, the self-love meditation. Practice that. It's pretty powerful meditation.
Deep breath in and deep breath out, John. Simply because, when I'm speaking places, Janet, I often tell people when I'm getting through with something, I say take a deep breath in, deep breath out. And the only reason I say it is because it prevents me from seeking affirmation through applause. Because we live in a world now where everybody's trying to get the one-liner and the stunner, and then everybody clap, and it distracts us. So I was like, if I just want this to land with you, so we have this understanding. Last night I heard something for the first time. in a play reading. And again, Sister Lisa did a wonderful job in the stage directions. And I've heard this, and we hear it at conferences now. They describe a character, and then immediately after the character, they put the character's pronouns. And I've been invited to speak places, and they're like, tell us your pronouns and all. And I'm like, I didn't sign up for that, number one, because it becomes an identity. It becomes an issue of identity as well. Not judging good or bad, because I understand that. But my logic is also, if we are trapped in this identity loop where in order to reject the identity that we feel the mainstream has for us, we create another box and then attempt to fit people in the mainstream into that box. And again, it becomes a war of identities. And we never get to who are we truly and what are we seeking in this space? Because that's the most important thing. It's why we're here and what we're doing. If not, then we begin to wear identity as an outer garment that is still external. So unpacking these things, asking these questions, they're very important. I encourage us to continue to ask these questions, especially as we're planting the seeds. I encourage us from this point forward to continue to unpack and to self-interrogate and to trust that that is okay. You're not lost if you are unpacking these things. You are lost if you feel like you've arrived somewhere and there's no more growth. That's when you're lost. Because then you're depending on somebody else or something else externally to take good care of you. If we talk about traditional church, it's called substitution theology. Somebody else did it all for me. I don't have any responsibility. I'm okay. As long as I attach myself to this individual, then I'm good. And all I need to do is spend all my time being attached to this individual. And oftentimes my world itself is falling apart. We're not going to fall into that here. We want you to grow. We want you to study. And we don't want you to get into the paralysis of analysis where you study so much that you don't love life. No action. We want you to take some action. So these are the things we want you to meditate on today. These are the things we want you to bring into next week at Yoga Sunday, the week after in our fireside chat, and first Sunday at Infinity Fellowship. Y'all send one of that energy into the chat of love. We appreciate Sister Janet Stewart Caldwell, again, our co-thought leader and co-founder of Infinity Fellowship's Yoga Sunday, one of the first people who's going to be celebrated in Emergence Month, because we wouldn't be here without you. And you see why, y'all. Send them snaps up. Can we find you on the web anywhere? Where do we follow you on socials? Do you want us to? Do you want us to follow? No. You just you're not. But you're going to send it in. yoga.ability@gmail.com if you want to. And it's okay, though, because at the end, that's still just a part of your identity. It is, right.
I'm on Insta, Hot Yoga Janet.
Hot Yoga Janet on Instagram.
Yes, that's it. Yes.
Yes, follow her out. See, she's busy living in the real world. Right. She's there. If you hit her, she'll respond. All right. So you all, I want to just wrap today, and we'll put the music on so that we can take it out with music. We'll close with the If song and just keep that playing. And we'll use that to get on out of service today. I want to thank you all for joining us for Infinity Fellowship for the unique space that we call If Teaches. It happens every single third Sunday here at Infinity. It's something that's unique here. We want you to send this into the world. If you've learned something today, if you've discovered something about yourself, don't let this be the end of it. Share, chat. Again, first timers, if you discovered this space and this is the kind of conversation you've been looking for, fill out the visitors form that's going to come up. Let us know you were here. We'll send you something. We're looking forward to seeing you next week at home on your mats for Yoga Sunday, to put that body onto the mat so that you can be a part of healing holistically. This day has been made possible by all the wonderful people at Infinity Fellowship, the infinite life streamers who we thank for being a part of today, to our tech crew, Sister Alicia Hamer, Sister Kai Carr, and of course, Brother Tony I, always running things, Lady Kanitha Carr, special guest Janet Stewart Caldwell, and of course, Reverend Jeff, on behalf of Infinity, we love you guys. I encourage you that before you leave, drop some love to somebody in the chat. It can be a stranger. Speak a blessing into their world. As we bow our heads in this space, we speak that as all hearts and minds are clear, we move from this place into the world that awaits our light. We speak that the God of your acceptance and understanding, the power of the cosmos and the ancestors, rest, rule, rock, and abide with you henceforth, now and forevermore. We say in the various ancient words of affirmation and peace, Amen, Amen, Hotep, Shalom, Namaste, Ashe. It is done. We love y'all. We'll see you next time. And that's a fact you cannot change. Peace.